Hello there, and welcome back. I'm Karin Maestro, your host for this amazing 31 days of calming tips. And it's such an honor and privilege to get to be here with you today. And today we're going to be talking about positive statements. You may also know them as affirmations. I invite you to choose the word that resonates with you most here, right? Some people kind of hear the word affirmations and run for the hills. And so all it is a positive saying that you're saying to yourself, right? That can have, by the way, and these affirmations or statements can have a significant impact on your self-esteem and your resilience. And so when you're feeling a bit down, right? As so many of us do after breast cancer. Excuse me. Feeling a bit down, a bit depressed, a bit blue, unmotivated. Your energy's taken a hike, right? And just, you might even be saying and asking yourself, is this my life from now on? I can't tell you how many times I have heard people say that. If you're feeling that, I want you to know that you are not alone. And I want you to hang out with me as we go through these today. I'm talking about how these positive statements can influence our well-being, right? So that you can learn the importance of them. And I'm going to share some affirmations or statements to go along with each of these. And it's like trying on, a new dress. Put it on. Does the affirmation fit? Do you feel it in your heart? Is there a tug? Where you're like, oh yeah, that one fits me. That one fits me. That's how we want affirmations and statements to feel. Because if you're just saying something for the sake of saying it, because you've seen it on a meme or a card or something like, oh yeah, I should think like that. Should, by the way, is your red flag word because it's a judgment word. And I'm all about unpacking all of those judgment things that we put on ourselves through our life and other people have put on us and finding out who you really are, right? That's actually what Thrivership School is all about. Unpacking all of the stuff that we've been carrying on our shoulders for all of our life, finding out who you are. And so doing these affirmations, doing these statements, you can kind of listen to it and ask yourself, is this for me? Does this fit? I remember I was doing a 5-day, I was participating in a 5-day challenge earlier this year. And I remember that she said something that just, I went, oh, wow, that's for me, right? And what she said was, I serve, I deserve. I serve, I deserve. So if any of you are out there, right, serving the community, serving your family, serving your church, because that's who you are. I want you to know, first of all, that's who I am too. I like to be generous. I come from a place of service always, but I also deserve to be paid for my coaching services. Right. And that is something that I know many people in this coaching industry, but also nursing, teaching, counseling, any of the things, it can feel icky, like it doesn't fit in with who you are. And I heard this affirmation, I serve, I deserve. And I said, oh my gosh, that's so true. Because I do give generously. In fact, this series, right, is all free, 31 days of calming tips. It's been my gift that I am happy to give. Please don't think for a second, I don't do things that I don't want to do. Do I look for something out of it? No, no, it's given from a place of generosity. But does that mean that if you want to come into my coaching program, one-on-one, or my group coaching program, that I wouldn't charge for that? No, because that's where you get the best of me. That's where you get the intimacy that you're craving, that sense of belonging. That's where we get real and raw and really look at how do we move you forward in this life so that you can be you. So this is the impact that positive affirmations can have both on your self-esteem and your resilience. Okay, so let's dive in here with the first one. Positive affirmations can help you boost your self-confidence. And I know for many of us, that's something that takes a dive after breast cancer, right? We might look a bit or a lot different. We might not feel like the same person. We might be being super hard on ourselves. Well, positive affirmations can help you challenge and reframe negative self-talk. We can put those negative self-talk, we call her Negative Nancy inside Thrivership School, right? So Negative Nancy is the negative self-talk. And we challenge her. We put those thoughts on trial and say, but is that true? Is it really true? And so when we're doing that, we need to kind of replace that voice with something else, right? And so an affirmation or a statement that helps to emphasize your strength and capabilities, right? You can start to actually build more of a positive self-image, which is going to help improve your self-confidence. So try this affirmation on for size. See if this one works for you. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. That's okay. And I'm going to have an affirmation for each one of these. And I invite you, does it fit you? Does it not? Doesn't mean anything about you if it doesn't. Just means it's not yours. Tweak it, change the words, change the phrases, make it yours. So for here, something like, I am a warrior and I face the toughest battle with strength and resilience. I believe in my ability to overcome any challenge life throws my way. Now, if that resonates with you, own it. Write it down, post it somewhere, put it on your phone, have it pop up regularly. If it doesn't, maybe the word warrior doesn't resonate with you. Maybe you're like, yeah, I fought with strength and resilience, but what choice did I have? Look at how these words resonate with you. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And that's okay, no matter what it is. Strength to me is resiliency. It is that, and this is where I think my ability as a coach is really powerful, getting to reframe these things. So perhaps if I face the toughest battle with strength and resilience doesn't resonate with you, you can say, I faced the toughest battle and I kept showing up. I kept trying, didn't stop. Right? Maybe something like that resonates with you more. So think about that one. The next thing that positive statements can do for you is they can help you start to accept yourself as you are today and start to practice the self-compassion, right? And inviting in that kinder voice. We call her Positive Pamela in Thrivership School, right? So she's your biggest cheerleader and she's actually you. She's actually you. She's inside you, waiting to cheer you on. But Nancy's tough. Nancy comes in hot and heavy. And she's often so much more prevalent than Pamela. But here's where self-acceptance comes in, right? It's reminding yourself that it's okay to have imperfections. We're all imperfect. I say we're perfectly imperfect beings. It's the way we were created. It's the way that we are supposed to be. If we were all perfect, we'd all be the same. How boring would that be? We're all perfectly imperfect on our journey. Wherever you are on your journey, that's where you're meant to be. But you get to start inviting in a kinder voice where you start to accept who you are instead of beating her up and being cruel. Right? So understanding that it's okay to have imperfections and that you are deserving of love and respect. That same love and respect that you openly share with others, but have a hard time sharing with yourself. This acceptance is the fundamental aspect of a healthy self-esteem. And again, this is not about judgment. This is about awareness and knowing, here's the cool thing, right? Knowing that you get to shift it, knowing that you get to change it because you can. A belief about ourselves is simply a thought we keep thinking. So if we can change the thought, we can change the belief. So cool. So, so cool. So here's an affirmation for self-acceptance. And again, we're going to try it on for size. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's not yours. That's okay. It doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't make you good or bad or right or wrong. It just is. I embrace my scars, physical and emotional, as symbols of my strength and resilience. I am deserving of love, including self-love, just as I am. Let me read that again. I embrace my scars, physical and emotional, as symbols of my strength and resilience. I am deserving of love, including self-love, just as I am. Oh, so powerful. So, so powerful. I'll try that on for size. See how it works for you. You grab a sip of my water here. So number 3, affirmations can be super powerful tools to help us build resilience, right? And resilience to me, first of all, it's one of my superpowers for sure, bouncing back after major trauma, 100%. And I had to learn how to invite in positivity into my life. I don't want you to think that as I'm sharing this, that I am some perfect being. I want to be really clear that I used to be the quintessential people pleaser. I used to have negative Nancy in my head all the time. I had zero self-esteem for quite some time in my life, and I'm talking decades. And I'm not there now. I'm not there now. My self-esteem, my confidence in who I am as a human being, I love myself. I know who I am and I love myself. And if somebody doesn't, that's okay. That means nothing about me, right? And I want you to get to the point where you are also able to see that. And things like going through breast cancer or going through other trauma, I want you to understand that that is resiliency. And you might be bumped, you might be bruised, you might, like me, be breastless. But your track record for getting through tough stuff, like mine, is 100%. Don't ever forget that. It's not saying it's easy, but don't ever forget that. Now, as we're building resiliency, right, what does it mean? That when we're facing challenges or setbacks, as we know, breast cancer recovery is not linear. It's a huge roller coaster ride. Okay? You'll find that if you regularly practice affirmations and positive statements, it's going to help you maintain a positive outlook and keep going, keep persevering, right? But this is also why I vehemently believe that these affirmations need to fit you. Because if you're just saying it, you're not taking it in. You're not feeling the energy of it. You're not believing it. And I want you to believe it, like truly believe it, right? So affirmations and statements can actually bring like a psychological cushion against adversity, right? Against us deep diving into deep depression. And if you're in that deep depression, know that this can help you start to climb out. But again, they've got to fit you. You can't just say it because it's something I'm saying or you've read it somewhere. There needs to be a belief. And it's like that. I was saying with that I serve, I deserve affirmation. It was just like, whoa. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's mine. And so ask yourself, are any of these resonating? They may not, and they might. Tweak them to make them yours. And I love this one that I'm about to share. Try it on for size. I have weathered storms and emerged stronger each time. I am resilient, and I have the courage to face adversity with grace and determination. Let me read that again. I have weathered storms and emerged stronger each time. I am resilient, and I have the courage to face adversity with grace and determination. So powerful, right? The next way that positive affirmations can be helpful is that they can promote something called a growth mindset. You're like, Karin, what is that? It's the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed, right? So that you can learn new things and be adaptable through dedication and often hard work too, right? But when you realize that you have the capacity for growth and improvement, right? When you're saying, I don't want to be stuck here. What else can I do? What can be different? This can't be it. And you're like, am I willing to do what it takes to change it? You might not know what it is. That's where I come in, right? I know what that is. I have the proven roadmap. You don't have to try and create it on your own. Your job is to say, I know I'm here and I'm going to grow from this, but I just need to know what to do. Right? So it's affirming your capacity for growth and improvement. And when we do that, you'll be more likely to embrace challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and development instead of feeling like you've just been knocked down again and you've got to crawl your way up. This has been a huge part of my ability to bouncing back. And did you know there's something actually called post-traumatic growth? It's kind of like this. Going through breast cancer is trauma, and there's something called post-traumatic growth because we all, no matter what trauma, and I've done this after the loss of my mom and my dad and my younger brother. I've done it after illnesses that I've been through and major life events. Said, okay, what do I get to learn here? How do I get to grow? And so I've really become such an expert at bouncing back because that has been my outlook, and it can be yours too. You just have to be open to be adaptable. And so the affirmation here that I invite you to try on for size is, I believe in my ability to grow and adapt. Challenges are opportunities for me to learn, evolve, and become a better version of myself. Let me read that again. I believe in my ability to grow and adapt. Challenges are opportunities for me to learn, evolve, and become a better version of myself. And that is possible for you after breast cancer. I know it, I live it, and I've seen it so many times with clients. And the final one that I want to talk about today is reducing negative self-talk. Nancy, right? Negative Nancy. Now, negative self-talk can be so detrimental. I think you know this already. To our self-esteem, to our resilience, right? Negative self-talk so often is what keeps us stuck. Okay, let me say that again because I really, really want you to hear it. Negative self-talk is often what keeps us stuck and stops us from moving forward. But affirmations and positive statements work by countering this negativity. And what we're doing is we're replacing it with more constructive and empowering thoughts. Because a belief is simply a thought that we keep thinking. Therefore, doesn't it make sense that if we keep thinking those thoughts, it's going to shift our beliefs about ourselves? You betcha it does. You betcha. And you can do it no matter where you are, no matter what challenges you're facing. I want you to know that you can 100% do this, but you've just got to start, right? You got to start somewhere. And so start by trying on these affirmations and see how they work for you. And over time, what happens is this internal dialogue that we all have going on in our head, right? The more positive and empowered it becomes, it helps us improve our self-esteem, our self-confidence, and our ability to bounce back from setbacks. Okay, so here's your affirmation for this one. I replace self-doubt and negativity with kindness and self-compassion. I am my own biggest cheerleader, and I choose to nurture my mind with positive and empowering thoughts. Let me read that again. I replace self-doubt and negativity with kindness and self-compassion. I am my own biggest cheerleader, and I choose to nurture my mind with positive and empowering thoughts. Now, incorporating positive affirmations into your daily routine can be such a simple yet super effective way to start enhancing your self-esteem and resilience. So whether written down, spoken out loud, or repeated silently in your mind, these affirmations serve as reminders of your worth, your strength, and your potential. Right? I believe in that already. And I really wish that you could see what your potential is. Because I know, and I kind of get choked up here because I know what it feels like to be so hard on yourself and to feel so small in life. And I also know what it feels like to let go of all of that, to lighten the load that you're carrying, to let go of that negativity. And yes, it'll still pop in from time to time, but you just recognize it then and let it go. I'm like, oh, hey, Nancy, there you go again. Yeah, all right, bye. Cheerio, see you some other time. I don't own it anymore. I don't take it into my body or into my thoughts, but it always happens. But I want you to know that you have so much potential. And I think, as I'm saying this, it makes me think of so many of our Thrivership School members who, when they come in, are feeling, and this might be how you're feeling right now, right? They're looking for help. They know that they need some help. They don't want to feel the way that they're feeling right now. And they're feeling stuck and depressed and down and beating themselves up for not being back to who they were and back to what life was before breast cancer. And in just a few months inside Thrivership School, that's all gone. And they're thinking of what is possible for them in their lives now. And I see it. I see the sparkle come back in their eyes. I see their joy for life. It's really amazing when you follow a proven roadmap, right, to help you overcome life's challenges. So your calming action today is to create a list of positive affirmations or statements and start incorporating them into your daily routine. Maybe there's one of these that really resonated with you. And what I do, like I talked about that affirmation, I serve, I deserve, that pops up on my phone every single day at noon. I have it in my phone, in my reminders, to remind me. And I sit with it and I stop and I look at it. I don't just, ignore the notification. I sit with it and I'm like, yes. And so this is how we start to shift our mind. So whether you use one of the affirmations that I shared with you today, maybe you find some others for yourself. And it could just be one affirmation, but find something that resonates with you and where you are today. May not always resonate with you because as you go on this growth journey, things can shift. That's good. Life is supposed to flow. It's not supposed to stay the same. And so when we learn to flow with it, things become easier. Okay, so I hope that this is helpful in maybe reframing how you get to use positive statements in your life and understanding how they can truly impact you in a super deep level and help you feel calmer, right? Because we feel calmer when we're positive versus anxious and not feeling good about ourselves when negative Nancy is hanging out in our head. Okay, let's end with our action here to send love to our 10-year-old self. Left hand over heart, right hand on top. You are loved. You are safe. I've got you. And I love you. Have an amazing day. Speak to yourself with kindness and find some affirmations that resonate with you. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.